Chair Young, Vice Chair Manning, and Ranking Member Miller, and members of the House Higher Education Committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify on House Bill 164. My name is Kurt Holden, and I'm the Director of Public Safety and Chief of Police at Wright State University. I wanted to provide testimony today on HB 164 because this is an extremely important initiative that will require leaders in your position to support those impacted by foster care to have a greater opportunity of success in college. You may be asking, why is this important to him? Why is he here today? And why is there a chief of police in front of me? My response is very simple. I grew up in foster care. My three brothers and I were placed in foster care due to my mother and father struggling with addictions related to heavy drugs, alcohol, domestic violence, physical and emotional abuse. I was in foster care from the age of 2 until I graduated high school at 17. During my time in care and moving around in different foster homes, I was separated from my brothers. Much of that time I struggled and wrestled with where I could go in life and who I might become in life. Only 2 to 3% of foster youth ever go on to achieve a college degree. Most foster youth know this statistic, and many actually shy away from even trying to attend college because of the little to no chance of seeing a successful outcome and the lack of resources to offset the barriers. Without a clear path in life, access to resources or opportunity, 1 in 4 youth in our foster care system will experience homelessness at some point in their life. Currently, there are some studies that say approximately 50% of our homelessness population spent some time in foster care. I was one of those individuals that also faced homelessness. I faced food scarcity because I had a lack of access and guidance and a lack of job placement. So I enrolled in college. Sadly, my reasons were not to be a college graduate because I knew the statistics and chances of success were nearly impossible. I needed to no longer sleep on a buddy's couch or spend another cold night on a concrete pillow. So I did what anyone else does who is trying to be successful, and I attended college. And to this day, I can say doing so saved my life. However, due to the fact of having no resources, dealing with many barriers, including food scarcity, I clearly flunked out. I flunked out because I was unable to attend classes, as I had to work multiple jobs. I worked those multiple jobs to ensure that I could save enough money so that me and my younger brother could get an apartment together whenever he left foster care. After I left college and got an apartment with my brother, we had stability. We finally had some security, and we actually now had hope. I now had a place to call home, a place with food, an actual sense of safety. Once I had that foundation, I re-enrolled in college for the right reasons. I no longer was flunking, I was succeeding. I have earned both my associate's, my bachelor's, and my master's degrees from Wright State University. I graduated grad school with over a 3.4 GPA. This education led me on a path of opportunity and success. I've been a police officer and have graciously and honorably served my community. I've been promoted through the rank of sergeant, lieutenant. I was a K-9 officer and have awards from the department, community, and from the state. When Governor DeWine was the Attorney General, I was awarded the Mark Losey Distinguished Law Enforcement Award. I say this not to brag, but to tell you about the potential that students, foster youth have. As a foster youth, I faced homelessness. I flunked out of college and faced many obstacles and ran into many barriers that were outside of my control because of things that happened to me as a child that were outside of my control. And with some luck and by the grace of God, I did it. But the deck was stacked against me. With your help, we can make college more obtainable, more accessible, and success a more realistic option by removing the luck and making a more realistic option and more achievable than 2 to 3%. This is important to me because my brothers and sisters in care still struggle with accessibility and resources to be successful in college. I am here today because I know the importance of what earning a college degree and the opportunities it can afford someone in life. Without college, without a degree, without a little bit of luck, I don't know if there would be a Chief Holden in front of you today. And so I end my testimony with this quote. Leaders sometimes plant trees on which they may never enjoy its shade. You have the ability to plant those trees for foster youth. Thank you for the opportunity to provide testimony today. I welcome any questions.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Holden. I really appreciate your testimony. Do we have any questions from the committee?
Thank you, Chair. Through the chair to Chief Holden, thank you for being here. You've climbed a huge mountain, so congratulations. It sounds to me like you're still working with your siblings to help them do that as well. It's in your position as Chief of Police. I hope that that same understanding and empathy is there for so many more that you'll come into contact with, maybe not on the right circumstances, and be able to understand where they're coming from and help them, change their ways, as we say in law enforcement, right? So thank you for that. My question to you is, do you think that this bill and these 4 positions will be that connection that'll help you to, and those that were in your situation, find solutions or to overcome some of the obstacles that you just weren't aware of or didn't have the access to?
Chair Young, Ranking Member Miller, thank you for the question. I do. I think the name Fostering the College is the bridge that's always been needed. When you see 2 to 3%, if of course you reverse that, it sounds scarier to say 97% failure rate for foster youth. And then you see 1 in 4 are impacted by homelessness. This is that bridge. And I think this is a fantastic start to offset those barriers.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Chief Holden, for coming in today. Thank you for your service to your community. You've overcome obstacles to provide safety and security to your community, and I applaud you for that. Do you believe that engagement in the foster care system is a factor that comes into play when individuals come into contact with law enforcement in the criminal justice system? And if so, do you believe that this piece of legislation can be an effective tool to help offset some of the disadvantages of being in the foster care system and give those individuals a chance to succeed like their peers that have a more stable home life while they grow up? Thank you.
Very Young, Ranking Member Miller, thank you for the question. I do believe that this will help. The reason this will help is that right now, there's not enough representation of what foster youth can see. So that's why a lot of foster youth, they say they want to go be a social worker. They say they want to be a police officer. They say they want to be something that was part of the foster care system, because that's the only representation that they have seen. So the foster college option will give a wide open view to be able to acquire any degree and go on and get the future that they want. I think that it will help with engagement, recruitment of course, students to actually come to of course, college. And I think this will now become a more realistic option. And once something is deemed a more realistic option, it can change someone's reality for the better. So I hope that helps.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for coming today. As a past member of Wright State's Board of Trustees, I know how hard you all work there, and this is a great testimony and an example of the type of student that we want to have. And Wright State is very accepting and works very hard in our community and our state to make it happen for many students. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you. Thank you.